Hey kids, welcome to another great episode, at least we hope it's great, of The Tipsy Irishman. My partner extraordinaire over here.
I'm going to start opening these while he's doing the intro. That way we don't have the struggles we had the last couple episodes of getting bottles open.
Mr. Jake's here. Thank God he's here because he hooks the show pretty good. And don't forget to get your grinds. We're going to be quick on this one. Your grinds, go to getgrinds.com. Today's citrus orange, which is one of my top 10s, or top 5s, I would say. If you want to get some, go to getgrinds.com. Tell them I sent you. They'll help me out. Hopefully they'll help you out too. And today we have some specialness. We have Eagle Rare, which I guess really isn't all that special in terms of, it's kind of, you can find and get it if you want to get it. But we have a barrel pick, right? No, yes.
Store pick.
Store pick.
Store pick.
That's what he said, store pick. He didn't say barrel pick, he said store pick. A store pick from M&D Liquor. Shout out. You guys are great. Hey, Jay, what's up?
Yep, shout out to Jay and those guys.
And just hold on my Facebook too. And I'm gonna let him talk about it because he knows more about it than I do. Other than the fact that I love Eagle Rare, it's my daily drinker when I can get it.
Yeah, I think it would be everybody's daily drinker if they could get it.
And now I have an extra bottle, so that's going down tonight.
You know, if you guys have watched the channel for any length of time, you know Eagle Rare is not my favorite. I like it, but to me it's just kind of down the middle bourbon. I don't think there's anything crazy special about it. For $32.99, I think is what we paid for the one out of retail.
It is.
Which is great. I mean, honestly, for that price, it is really good.
I mean, before tax, $32.
Yeah, I've just got a million other bottles on my shelf. This store pick from M&D, I actually helped them do the pick about a year ago, and then it came in. And this has been sitting on my shelf unopened for almost 6 months.
It's a year ago.
I don't really reach for Eagle Rare very often. So we just cracked this bottle tonight, and I've had it for like 6 months. It's been a while. So what we're going to do tonight is...
I'm gonna go blind.
Yeah, we're going to go into another series here, kind of like we did with the Buffalo Trace, where we want to see, for your daily drinker, if you can pick out the difference between these store picks and a regular shelfer, and is it really worth the time and the money?
What's the difference in price again?
So the retail on the regular Eagle Rare is $32.99.
Under 40 most places.
Yeah, it should be under 40. This bottle came in a bundle, and it came with like a Corazon, and I forget what the other bottle was, and it was like I want to say it was like $100 for the whole bundle. So if you took the retail price of those bottles out, this was around 50 or 55 for a store pick, which is still relatively good, right? And the reason that a lot of stores around here do that, they sell them by the bundles, it prohibits flipping. If I got to pay $100 to get that whole bundle, and this bottle on secondary is only worth $100, people aren't going to flip it. You know what I mean? They're going to open it, they're going to drink it like we're going to do. And so I understand the bundles, and I also understand them bundling it with products that are coming from the same distributor. It helps them get more barrels. People get real bent out of shape on the bundling, and I honestly think it's kind of the best way to do it. It's still a first come, first serve. Right. And
I bundle. If I got too much of something good, I need to get rid of something else, I bundle.
Yep. But
doesn't cost you any extra, just you want it, you got to buy this.
To bundle it with something that you know people are really going to be after, a store pick Eagle Rare is a pretty sought after bottle. With something like a tequila. There's a Corazon tequila finished in like a Buffalo Trace barrel, and I think
I've heard of that.
And I think maybe a bourbon cream or something like that, the Buffalo Trace bourbon cream, which is also really good. I like the bourbon cream a lot in my coffee, and we had it a ton over Christmas.
I have it though. If you want to get some more.
You want the bourbon cream?
I have plenty.
Yeah. It exposes people like me to new liquors, right? I opened that tequila honestly about 3 months ago when we were making margaritas at the house for something. We were just having some people over in there.
Corazon's good tequila.
It was fine. I mean, you know, I'm not a tequila guy.
Tequila's tequila.
It was fine.
Yeah.
So we're going to pour these up blind. I'm going to pour them in some glasses. I'm going to know what's what, and then we're going to slide them over to Ed. We're going to go through them very similar to what we did with the Buffalo Trace. I was hoping to give a third bottle sample for a store pick. Actually, Wine Regions just dropped one today, but I couldn't get out there over lunch. They're way out in Claremont. It's about an hour from where we are here. It would have been an hour out, hour back.
It's a minute, yeah.
But their bundle was the Eagle Rare, 2 different Corazons, and a store pick of High West straight bourbon, and it was $200 for the bundle. It was a pretty pricey bundle, so you get the Eagle Rare, you get the store pick of the High West, and a couple of the tequilas, which again, is still reasonable to me.
I think Corazon's like
$30, $35 a bottle. I don't think they're crazy expensive, man.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't think
it's under 40. Yeah, I think so.
So even still, if you're paying $75 worth of tequila, that means it was $125 worth of Eagle Rare and High West store pick bourbon. That's about in the range.
I think High West like 45.
Not for store picks. Those store picks are around $75, $80.
Oh.
Yeah, no, they're not.
I mean, in general.
Yeah. Regular High West, but the store picks are definitely more expensive.
Well, so Campfire, then it's 88.
Yeah, Campfire. I actually like that Campfire a lot. So that's, again, it's within the range. It's the only way I got my hands on this. I grabbed it because, again, I helped with the barrel pick, and I support M&D. Any of their stuff that comes out, I try to get my hands on and keep one at the house. And so tonight will be the first time that I've tried what's in this bottle in almost a year, and I'm going to know what's what, but I'll be able to give my honest opinion on how different it is from regular Eagle Rare. And again, when I do the barrel picks, I want something kind of in the fringes. I want something in the extreme. I can get regular Eagle Rare. Why would I pay more money for a store pick of something that tastes exactly like what's available on the shelf, right? I want something that's either way out here spicy, or way out here with a great finish, or way up here with like a cherry bomb type flavor, something a little different. So tonight we'll be able to see what's what. So yeah, if you want to hide up, tonight we have M&D glasses. Shout out M&D, and we've got Broken Barrel Design. Sean, Broken Barrel Design, Facebook, look them up. They do some really cool stuff. Great shirts and barware, coasters and racks. Really, really cool stuff for the house. And it's all made local here. He gets used barrels.
What's this all just a barrel for?
Man, those are expensive because he puts a door on the front, he puts shelves on the inside, he lines them up with LEDs.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, no, they're really, really cool. So, all right. Ready to rock. So again, we've got a store pick here from M&D. Store pick by committee generally. When at least Jay, when he gets in his stuff, he tries to get as many people in on it as he can. I think this one there was about 8 or 9 of us, kind of sampling through and talking through what we liked about. The store picks come in 3 different samples, A, B, C. It'll tell you the barrel number, where it was in the rec house, give you a little bit of information on it. We try them all. I like to go forwards and then backwards, right? So I like to go A to C and then C to A, and see how it kind of changes. And then we all kind of give our honest review. We come to a consensus, and that's what we end up with. So let's start with the M&D glasses up here at the front. Nice healthy pours tonight. Again, $32.99 bottle. It's here to drink, and I know Ed's going to want to put some ice on it, so make sure he's got a little extra there. But jumping into the nose.
This is pretty fragrant.
It's very fragrant, honestly. For 90 proof, it's got, it's almost got a little bit of a floral note to it. That quintessential kind of Buffalo Trace grapey. You trying to bounce it back and forth. See how much of a difference it is?
I got it. This is my jam.
That's interesting. So the notes that I really get off the Eagle Rare.
This is amazing.
I believe these are rumored to be somewhere. Like I said, they're 10-year, but they're no longer called single barrel because the bottling system that Buffalo Trace uses, they can't clear out the remnants from the pour spout from the previous barrel when they load the next one. So it's still like 99% a single barrel product. But as I understand, as they taste the barrels in the rick house, they pull good barrels aside for the store picks. And so generally when they're sending out those samples, they're meant to be better barrels. They're meant to be some of the better things in the rick house.
This is interesting. This is what I think it is. The difference is amazing.
Cheers.
Salute.
Yeah, see, again, Buffalo Trace, to me...
It's got some heat on it, which I don't think the other one does.
Yeah, that 90 proof, it's got a decent finish. To me, it's just not overly complex. There's not layers to this. I get a little bit of sweet, a little bit of oak, and a decent finish. The palate's really good at the end. Coats the mouth nicely. Definitely a little fruity. You get a little bit of that Buffalo Trace grapey-ish, not as much as I've had in some Buffalo Trace bottles. Definitely not as much as you get in the
This
East Taylor.
particular one kind of reminds me of the Buffalo weeded a little bit. It's got some heat.
Yeah, it's got a little bite to it
On it.
for 90 proof. I believe, I'd have to double check the mash bill on this, but I believe this is mash bill 2, or rumored to be mash bill 2, which is higher rye mash bill. Again, it's
Pretty sure I know.
you serve this to me blind. I'm not going to tell you that's gross or spit it out. It just doesn't move my needle much. It's good, but it's not great.
It doesn't move.
You put this blind in front of me with an E.H. Taylor small batch, and I'll jump over the table to get to that E.H. Taylor small batch. I love E.H. Taylor, but again, it suits my palate.
Amen.
Well,
no one will fault you for that at all, by the way.
so let's go to the back one, the Broken Barrel glasses. So the smell on that to me is a little more subtle. It's not as sharp.
It smells.
Again, still got that little bit undertone of
You're
fruit.
probably trying to fool me, but
Definitely have some oak on it. Again, as a 10-year product, you should get some of that oak out of it.
yeah, definitely smell.
Yeah.
Definitely got wood going. It's weird because I'm so from that. It's so in there. Mine, yours.
So to me, the second one doesn't have as much. No, that finish is lingering. I'm lying. Actually, that finish is lingering a little longer. To be fair, we did warm up with some baby Saz before we fired up the camera just to, get the mouth moving. So this wasn't the first pour of the night.
You say baby Saz, I like that.
Yeah, baby Saz. That's baby Saz.
Very good. Get some if you can get it.
The finish on that second one's really good. I like that finish a lot, actually. It's still lingering.
Get some heat.
I think the second one's a little more fruit rich and a little more black peppery. There's definitely more.
See, I think that's more pepper.
Do you really? Maybe I'm a crazy person.
They're both delicious.
See, this to me is more of a rye spice heat.
Yes.
And the back one is more of a black pepper heat, which is different. It's subtle but different.
Which is interesting because it's literally the same thing that the Jack Daniels thing was just 2 years different.
Right.
That's it.
Right. But I think the back one has definitely a different finish, and there's a difference to the heat than there is on the front one. It's getting you?
Hello, how are you?
All right, so what do you think? What do you think?
I think the front ones is yours and the back ones are mine.
So you think this one is the store pick and this is the regular?
Yeah.
They're actually reversed.
Oh! Now see,
they're totally reversed.
it's been a minute since I had Eagle Rare, so it's probably been.
Yeah, I put the
Well,
store pick.
I thought you were tricking me first. And
I did trick you. I put the store pick.
I'm gonna go.
But was there enough of a noticeable difference for it to be almost twice the price?
No.
Right, and that's generally where my brain falls. Is that with most store picks, not. No, it was
$60.
it was like 55-ish. Yeah, so almost double the price.
No.
Right, and that's generally where I fall with most store picks when it comes to.
I feel stupid.
The adult though, they're almost identical, and there's a reason we did this, right? Now again, they're fresh cracks, they're brand new opens, and so maybe in a month or two,
they might taste
they
great
might open
tomorrow.
They may open up differently. We can revisit this in a couple months and see if we can pick one from the other, but there is a noticeable difference in the
more rye. Right.
The small batch one.
The first one.
Yeah, the M&D one. So M&D is the small batch.
Mine.
Yeah, small batch, or I mean not small batch, the regular.
Right.
So regular Eagle Rare
We've
definitely
had a couple
has.
drinks, kids. Stay with us.
I agree. I think the regular Eagle Rare, the finish on it is more.
See, I thought it was more mellow. Now
rye.
I feel it's not as mellow as I like it to be. I don't know. That's weird.
A little
I'm
pepper bite
confused.
to it.
Pepper bite, God. Every time you say pepper, I think of that. I think of the black dirt. So good.
I get a little bit of that black dirt note in the store pick. To me, the black note dirt in that store pick is like an earthy kind of spice, as opposed to just like an all-encompassing spice.
Not like pepper.
Oh no, it's not overwhelming. No.
That's where this one hits you quick. That one gets together and then it kind of lingers here for a minute.
I think the primary difference between the two, honestly, is just in the finish. The store pick finish lingers longer.
It's a much heavier nose on the regular one. I think. Really gets up in there. I think. No.
Yeah, the nose is more subtle on the store pick, definitely, but the finish is better. So again, that's not always the way it's going to be with every store pick. We're not saying this is universal across the board, but this is a little experiment that we like to run. I actually just picked up a store pick Blanton's today, so when we crack that here in a few weeks, we can do a store pick Blanton's against a regular Blanton's.
So he says he's not a big fan of Eagle Rare. It's not his thing. I'm not a Blanton's fan. Not that I will ever turn it away if you hand it to me, but it's just not my thing. But then again, I wasn't a Buffalo Trace fan, and he's made me a Buffalo Trace
Buffalo
fan
Trace
now.
is really tough to beat.
So, so
at least with these specific bottles, right? With this specific, Shelfer Eagle Rare and the store pick from M&D, there's a noticeable difference. But again, it all boils down to, is it enough of a difference to justify the cost increase? And at least for me personally, as a non-Eagle Rare guy, sorry Jay, if you see this, I'm not an Eagle Rare guy.
I still love you, Jay.
I don't think it's worth it, but maybe Eagle Rare connoisseurs, it's enough of a difference for them to be like, no, that's...
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know about...
$50-ish? 50...
I mean, I get mad looking at the sites and see people pay double what I pay for
yeah,
just the tenure.
actually, it's been really frustrating here locally. The Jack Daniels drop has caused waves in the market here locally to Florida. The pair, like a 10 and a 12 years, are moving around $500, which retail on them is like $170. That's a little outrageous.
Well, no, I think it's 77, 87.
I think it was $89.99 and
Yeah,
$70.
like,
so what tax and everything? Right around $170.
Yeah, before tax. So $77.99 and then 10 more on the
Yeah.
on the 12 year.
So anyway, right
which
around
is amazing.
Yeah, right around 170 for the pair, and they're moving for close to $500. And I think that has a little bit to do with people with the FOMO, right? They see everybody with the bottles and they really want to try them, and is it really worth the hype? And I also think it's a little bit of just a new release from an established distillery, kind of driving that price up.
I gotta say though, if you can get it for the retail price, what we
absolutely.
just mentioned,
Absolutely.
they're 100% worth buying.
Oh, they're buy on site. Even plus
100%.
even plus 30-40%. If you're talking 100 and
If you get them both for $100, you're
110, $120 a bottle, they're really, really good, and they are definitely worth it. The main point being here that the secondary market drives a lot on FOMO. It drives a lot on new releases, and people just want to get their hands on it, and they want to complete the vertical, or they want to be able to talk about this new bottle and how great it is.
Or look how cool I am. I got it.
There's a lot of that too, man. We call it flexing, right? So a lot of guys just posting their picture. Look what I got today, and here's 1 million bottles, and check out my hunted for the day, and it's 47 bottles that nobody's going to pick up in a single day. And it's like, man, if you need validation from social media, that's on you.
I just saw a guy today on one of the websites. He found 12 cases of Eagle Rare, and he bought all of them.
Yeah,
It's like that's not cool, bro.
Well, even nobody finds 12 cases of Eagle Rare. Actually, there was just a huge
what I'm
shakeup
saying,
on this.
You know what I'm saying, though. It's like
Eagle Rare was one of the counterfeit bottles that got busted. Here we go. It has nothing to do with Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace isn't doing it. It's somebody else counterfeiting them and selling them through European sites. And so people are like, man, I got 18 cases of Blanton's, and it turns out they're all counterfeit. So if you ever see somebody come across cases of anything, I would be suspicious. Absolutely. Just it doesn't generally happen like that.
You see those pictures of the guys in his living room. He's got all the E.H. Taylors and
all stacked up.
And I was like, he's like, that's why we can't get nothing. You're killing me, bro.
But that's why the community here locally is great. Actually, I've got a meet up tomorrow night with some of my buddies and from one of my groups where we're gonna do bottle share, and the rule was it's got to be something hard to find. Don't show up with an Eagle Rare. Don't show up with some kind of shelf, or bring something. I actually texted the guy that's hosting. It's like, hey man, I was going to bring the Michter's Rye, but I got these Jack Daniels. You were going to bring the Jack Daniels. He said, absolutely.
I'm working on the Witherton Michter's, by the way.
Oh yeah, the 20 and 25 year. There ain't no way. He ain't gonna show up. That'd be cool though.
Oh, the rye though.
Oh, the 10-year rye.
I think the rye's coming.
Yeah, the rye's.
We didn't get the rye. We got the other one. Right?
You got the bourbon.
Yeah, I think the rye's coming.
But to be able to take those bottles to a group of buddies that I know are going to appreciate it, they're all going to take a ½ ounce each, and I'm happy to donate that to them and let them drink it and try it because I know it's going to come back to me in spades. That's the kind of community.
Yeah,
if you've got one local, you got to find it. Look in your local Facebook groups. Try to find your local bourbon groups if you can. I have made some really invaluable friends through that website. Dudes that call me constantly, hey, I've got my hands on this. Are you interested? Dudes, I just called today. Hey, man, I got some really cool stuff this week. I'd rather get it to you than sell it on secondary or have it sit on my shelf. I'm a really big believer in.
When you're in that community, it's very loving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what goes around comes around in that community for sure.
I've gotten the opportunity to have stuff that I would have never seen ever in my lifetime in a while, and I get some love, and it's great.
Yeah, so check your Facebook local market or local.
Gotta share the love back though, just
when you can, and there's different ways to do it.
Yeah.
Ed has turned me on to some shelfers that I would never spend the money on, and we tried them. I was like, man, that's really was one you gave me the week. The Fighting Cock.
Fighting Cock.
Yeah,
the Fighting Cock is excellent,
and it was great. And he said it's like a $30 bottle. I was like,
it's not even that. It's not even that. It's 2084 before tax.
I would never. There's no way I would ever buy that bottle.
3 years old. I mean,
it was great
for a cheap daily drinker. Trust me, it does the job.
So again,
sugary though.
It doesn't mean you have to come to the table and start flipping hard to find allocated bottles and pass that kind of stuff on. You can do it even with samples. That's actually how I've made a bunch of friends through those websites. Is hey man, I've got all these different bottles. I'm happy to swap some samples with you because I want to try Blood Oath. Or I want to try, which I didn't even like it. Or
I want to try it. Yeah.
Or I want to try.
Now you said that I probably won't like it because we're the same almost.
I want to try some of the weird Bardstowns. You know what I mean? Some of the old Chateau de la Bades.
I want to try some of the new Bardstowns.
Yeah, those Bardstowns are really, really good. So
when I do that too, I get free stuff. Like if someone, I get with this show, I get people drop me off bottles all the time, and because of that fact, I love to drink. But because of that fact, I'll take half that bottle. I'll make samples, and I will pass it back out to see if other people in our little group that we have here. We have about 15 guys, maybe.
Yeah.
That where we work with, and they haven't had it sometimes. He has, and we dole it out.
Yep.
I think that's the right thing to do. You get love. You should redistribute the love.
Yeah, dole it out when you can, absolutely, and again, keep those relationships going. And also, we've formed some relationships over bourbon that have turned into other things like friendships, like this, or my friend Miguel, who just now will host game nights randomly on a Wednesday night. We just go hang out. It doesn't even have to be bourbon related, but the point is
I'm sure it comes out though.
it does. But bourbon can be a community, and if you don't have one where you live, look to establish it. All right, if you've got the same mindset, the way I've gotten into these different groups is the way that I've interacted in some public groups. All right, some of the comments that I've left, or some of the ways I've reached out to other people in really public groups. People have reached out directly to me for some of the private groups. Like, hey man, you look like you got a really similar mindset. Happy to pay it forward. Happy to kind of jump on the bandwagon for new releases or try stuff. So it's really the best way to go about it.
We're live, kids.
Yeah,
We're
man,
live.
the dogs are dying out here. So anyway, the consensus on the store pick is definitely a difference. Is it enough to justify the price? With this one, probably not. We're going to keep the train rolling with this, though. We're going to grab some store picks and some shelfers as they come through, and we'll bounce them off each other and kind of keep going throughout the year and see if there's a trend there. Because I'm telling you, there have been some store picks, especially with the Russell's Reserves, that are killer. They're really, really good.
And that Knob Creek you brought down.
Yeah, that Knob Creek store pick from Jay when we did the charity one.
Incredible.
Way better than a shelfer. So again, it can be a little bit hit or miss. If you walk into a store with a store pick, ask them to try it. Oftentimes they have an open one behind the counter, and they'll let you try a little bit in the store before you buy it.
If they're cool.
Yeah, if they're cool.
Well, on that note, my friends, if you can find it, go get it. We don't have any with us right now, but we're about to drink some more. So remember to drink one for us, because we're definitely going to be drinking one for you. And until the next time, my friends, we'll see ya. Come on.